Hello, everyone. My name is Acquennetta Finesse, and this is the podcast A Way Back Home. Now, before I get into today's message, I want to introduce myself. I know I am posting this on a few different platforms, and one of the main ones where people will know who I am is YouTube. But if you're not listening to this on YouTube, this is your first introduction to me. This is our first time meeting. Or you meeting me, right? Because, hey, to the best of my ability, hey. My name is Acquennetta Finesse, and bada boom, bada bang. That's all you really need to know, I feel like. Because this podcast is not really about me. This is not one of those podcasts where I'm going to sit and just talk about me or talk about things that are closely related to me or my thoughts on them, like a personal opinion. This podcast is really for those that feel that fire, that call within them at any point in time. Because sometimes, baby, when the call comes from inside the house, sometimes I leave the house. I done did it. So it's ringing and it won't stop. If I don't pick up, I guess I'll leave the house. And so some of us, this call that we've heard we heard it as a child, and now we're adults and you tap in our ears like, what happened? You didn't hear that? Or you can be whatever age you are, well into adulthood, young adulthood, wherever. And you feel this fire that there's something bigger, there's something better, there's something higher. This is for you. This is for us, because I never want anyone to think that while I am, posting these messages, these podcast episodes, that I just know every single thing that I'm talking about. I know enough to say what I'm saying, and that's where it stops. And so I'm learning, and I'm on this journey with you. This is a mutual thing. This is not, I've mastered something and now I've come to deliver you. This is not what that is. We are all headed to the same place, which is back home, which is back to source, back to the supreme intelligence that lives and breathes all of us, and is why we are all here, why we don't have to stop in the middle of a conversation and say, hey, let me beat my heart real quick. Hold on. Didn't get enough beats today. Or, hold on. Let me make sure my lungs is doing what they're supposed to do. We really, man, yeah, I was about to go somewhere else. It's beautiful that a lot of the things that we don't have to genuinely worry about, a lot of things, it's a choice. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So again, we are all on this journey together, and I'm happy that you're here with me because I like to journey with people. I'm a team player. I love teams. Teamwork make the dream work, baby. So yeah, let's get started. It's January 1st. I know y'all know. 2024. Who? Right now, today, January 1st, 2024. And it's the new year. For a lot of people, this is seen as an opportunity to begin a new journey, new beginnings, new whatever. Sometimes it won't even be like something completely new. It'll be something that, was maybe you kind of put to the side or said, I'm going to get back to that. And you feel like there's no better time than now, which is understandable. Oftentimes, though, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I have. And I said, I don't like that. About like 3 months into the year, more than, I don't know where the hell they got these stats from either. More than half of whoever is considered everyone. More than half of the people that started the year wanting a new beginning did not continue their journey, whatever it may be. Whether it was pertaining to like their health, making more money, finding a better job, anything relationship related, wanting to get married, wanting to start a family, have kids, from a people that's like, well, those aren't the same thing. Now the thing is though, a significant piece of this familiar experience, because I've experienced this several times, and after a while I was like, no, hold on. Why I keep coming back to the start? I didn't like that feeling. It wasn't sitting right. Something was off. Like, even, and I'm not gonna get too far into this, but even like, I'm not sure if you guys watch or have come across anything on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram Reel where someone's doing like a Sunday reset, or like we're just coming, and I'm like, why are we what's all this starting over? I just want to go and keep going. Why we keep coming back? And so for me, I became really sensitive to that. I wanted to know like what that is, because we don't have to restart. So what's causing this feeling, this sensation of needing to go back to the beginning? And so this familiar experience, the thing is, it's what's not focused on long enough, I believe, is that we are, how do you say? You know what? A significant piece of the experience that's not focused on long enough, basically, is to direct it so more of us stop feeling like we're running in place. Like that, yeah. Like that whole running in place thing. Like sometimes it won't even be, like, I guess that's another sensation, right? It's not necessarily going back to the start, but you can feel like, I actually never left the start. Ooh, baby, that's a word. See, that's what I mean when I say I'm on this journey with y'all. Because I have like what I'm intending to say, and then, you know, we hold space for wisdom and God and source and you know, messages and wisdom from realms that we cannot physically touch or see to come into this space. So yeah, please know that's how I like to move and work. Yeah, wow, that really got me. That took me to a different place. Sometimes we don't even leave the goddamn start line, but we get all that doggone energy and be like, I'm ready. Okay, come on, SpongeBob. And then we feel like we wasted our time trying again. And that leads me to, right, the whole title of today's message, the things we carry. We head out on these journeys that we believe we have curated aside from our destined path, because we already have one, but somehow we feel like the path we're already on is not sufficient. It's not who we are. It is not going to take me where I need to go or want to go. Because a lot of times we want things that we don't need. That's another word for another day. Or some even argue that this new path is the true path, right? Like what I was doing, that wasn't really me. But this new beginning I got, this is me. And on this new path that we now may understand as a true path, we believe because it's new that things are gonna be different. Now, I want to challenge your thought on a specific piece of like your true path or your true purpose. We are all headed in the same direction, which is back home to source. Hence the name of the podcast. The exciting part is that there is an abundance of ways back. Like all of us are already on our individualized path. It hasn't changed. And it's not going to change. You know, I'm definitely going to touch on that one day, but that belief of like, what's my purpose? Let's take a breath. Let's take a moment, a pause, and dissect that word. When we get upset with people and we're like, you did that on purpose, we use it in a different context than when we say, what's my purpose? Why did it change? Why did the word change? Why did that definition, that grounding piece change? If you're looking for your purpose, it means you're already doing it. Like you can't turn it off if you tried. It's your purpose. So maybe when we say, what is my purpose? It is not necessarily what is something that I need to add to me. It is what needs to be awakened that may be dormant. What is something, maybe I need to go into solitude because I'm not seeing things clearly. I'm not seeing something clearly. I don't need to add anything to me. I came into this world whole, complete, right? So back to the message, because I was going to go somewhere else. The things we carry. The change we're often looking for, it comes from within, right? Because the path is not changing. Like, babe, I let me break it to you. Let me be the one. The path is not changing. You are where you are. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And you have everything you need within you to get everything you desire that is outside of you. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, if you not liking it is something different, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And though we anxiously like create change outside of us in hopes to represent the change we desire fully manifested through the physical, like, let me repeat that. Okay. We will anxiously like create change outside of us in the material in hopes that it represents the change we desire, not the change that is fully there. This is only to represent the change we desire. So it's not even fully formed. It's not even fully developed. And when I say developed, let me change my words. It's not because it is developed. It is not fully awakened. It is not fully realized within you. And that is you to you, right? Because it is no one's job to see the truth and the fullness of your experience more than you. And you shouldn't want that either. You should never want that. You have the eye for your soul. You have the vision for you. It's yours. Why would somebody else? Why would you want somebody else to see your stuff clearer than you? Right? Now, right idea, not the best starting place. Like, I get it. I really do. Like, it makes sense. I've done it before. Like, I get it. Like, we do these changes outside of us. We're like, I'm finna get with it. I'm finna move this. I'm finna get this gym. Cause them gyms is busting right now. Them gyms, mind you, I prefer to work out at home. It's more intimate. I just like intimacy in all areas of life. So I just prefer to work out at home. But baby, I sure almost did, give me a gym membership. Okay. And I am, but it's going to be later in the year because that's just because I don't have weights at home. And when I want to tone, that's a whole nother thing. But like, baby, the way that we collectively, as a collective, like it makes sense. We want to see this change. We are tired. We be sick and tired. And I get it. Right idea, not the best starting place. And you have to also be mindful of people that are not in the full awareness of this aspect of the right idea, not the best starting place, because it can be used against you. And that's why I brought up the gyms, because listen, they really could give two shits. They're not even thinking like about this intuitively. They making that money, honey. Okay. When you're living in a society that is ran by capitalism, baby, the money is talking. They don't care about you feeling like you going back home to source and from whence we all came. They're trying to make that money so they can pay their bills. Okay. So yeah, they are going to have gym memberships for $1. Cause I know y'all see them every year and the gyms be packed. And then remember when I said about 3 months, then it just kind of weans out. Is it weans or wanes? Okay. Somebody let me know about that one. Now, when I speak to the things that we carry, I'm talking about emotional, mental, psychological baggage. It's not fair to you in your abilities to create a set of systems in the physical, and that being habits, goals, whatever I'm going to do this for 30 days. I'm going to do this every single day. I'm going to do whatever, and expect from yourself to do more than you have ever done. Ever, right? Because that's true. There's so much truth in that. Like, listen, this is a safe place. We don't lie over here. We're not, you can go like this is side note. This is something that I practice. I told somebody the other day, they was laughing. I'm for real though. Now I wouldn't consider myself, hold on. I'm not going to say I'm a liar. I don't have an issue not telling the full truth or lying. I don't have an issue lying to someone else about anything. I really don't. Like, if I don't feel safe, if it's literally like a safety concern, I'm going to lie to you. Yes, I am. That don't make me no bad person. No, I'm protecting myself. At the same time though, one thing that I do not negotiate is the level of honesty that I have with myself. And so I want to encourage you as I continue this episode. And if you stay for, just keep coming back for more episodes, let this be a space where you can be honest with you. This is a judgment free zone. What's that gym that be like? This is a judgment free, just for real. This is a judgment free zone. Okay. Shame will never, you can't beat yourself up into greatness. That literally is not going to happen. It never had. You can't stomp yourself out and shame yourself and lie to yourself into greatness, into the fullness of that which you are. So let's be honest, okay? And honestly, why do we believe that we are going to do things that we have literally never done before while still carrying the same garbage from before? We still got the same weight. Okay? We still got the same stuff. And we want to do something not just different, but better. Like, it's clear that you need to be in a certain state of mind, a certain emotional, you need to have a certain state of, or a capability of emotional regulation and groundedness. But all the things that you asking for, it's like somebody saying, I want $1 million. But baby, every time you get $20, you go buy food and now you broke. And you know who that example was for? That was me. Okay? Because again, we don't shame over here. That's just the truth. That was what I was doing. I was saying I want all this money. And then when it would come to me, I was using it I was doing everything with the money that wasn't bringing me more money. And was like, hey, we got to be honest, babe. And so when I say like the things that we're carrying in that example, it could be seen as, okay, when it comes to money, well, I'm carrying unhealthy like financial habits. Financially illiterate to a certain extent. I don't have a full understanding of how money can work for me, how it is meant to work for me. What is my understanding of currency? What is my understanding of currency in today's world, in the world that I live in? Not what I want it to be or hope it to be or wish it to be. What is it and how does it work for me, right? Now, I grew up in the church, and oftentimes through the lens of Christianity and religion at large, we are guided to believe the weight of life, that heaviness, that achiness, is due to sin, and or God is quote unquote testing us to see how much we can bear. So God knows we're ready. Like, oh, I just gotta make sure they ready. Let me just make sure. Friendly reminder, God is all knowing. Like, let me go back to when I said, thank God, thank God none of us have to stop and go outside and make sure the trees are, producing oxygen so we can breathe. Thank God that we don't have to wake up or stop mid-conversation and be like, hold on, I got to pump my heart real quick. Hold on before I finish this conversation because I want to finish what I'm saying. And I ain't got enough blood pumping through. We don't have to make sure of that. So why all of a sudden we will say, God is all knowing, but right there, God just don't know. Cut it out. We got to release that, please, for the sake of us all, so that we can go home peacefully as we are headed because all of us are headed in the same direction. We don't got to make it hard though. It don't got to be rough. And God already knows you can. God already knows you got it. So that part of the lesson piece of like God is trying to see, or like, can you bear this? Because what I'm going to give you is hard. It's heavy. It's harder than this. It's like, it's not going to hold up when it comes to application of that thought, and application in your day-to-day life. And what it does produce ultimately is shame and a neuroses of like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. And when we change our perspective and see the truth in God, and the truth that God does not give us anything we cannot bear, right? Because that comes from the same community, right? Remember, you got the same people that are saying, the same people that will say, and it's okay if you're one of these people, because I used to be. It's okay. So I understand. That's why I'm talking about it. But the people that will often say, God is giving me this because he needs to see how strong I am. And then it's like, at the same time, though, that same exact person will say, but God don't give us nothing we can't bear. So why is it heavy? Why are you literally showing us that you cannot bear it? Right? And so now we can look at the previous statement with a new sense of clarity, a different perspective. Since God doesn't give us things we cannot bear, when life gets quote unquote too heavy, that means you are carrying things that are not yours. It's not yours. It ain't for you. It's not you. It was never meant for you to carry. It may have been meant for you to experience, to observe, to acknowledge, to be in the awareness of, but not to carry. And oftentimes we carry the shame of others that was placed on us as children. And over the years, the words that were spoken over our lives from those we trusted begin to play on repeat like a motherfucking CD that's skipping. Like that one part, like, you ever had those moments where like you experienced, you went somewhere with a group of people, but it's out that whole, y'all kicked it for the whole day. Out that whole day, it's only one thing that you just keep replaying. You like, man, when they stepped on my shoes though, that really didn't like that. But you got the whole thing to focus on, So that's what I mean by like repeat. The beautiful thing about the mind is when something is played out enough, we begin to place our personal voice over the recording of those words spoken over us, which is why affirmations are so powerful, right? We can all use the same affirmations, right? You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean, like why the mind is so beautiful. Because then it produces the belief that these thoughts are organically ours. And so we begin to create a world, right? Like my mom always told me this when I was a kid, your words create worlds. You are what you're saying, what you have on repeat, what you're agreeing with. You are truly creating that's the world that you are living in. Your words are magic. They're spells. Be mindful of the things that you're saying. They are creating things. You're alchemizing things. You are creating things that you may not even really want. But baby, that's where you live now because you done said it. You didn't agree. And it's okay. Because the funny and the great and beautiful thing is you can change your mind. Hey, I had to back up from the mic. You can change your mind because you are not your mind. Okay, we're going to get to that later. Now, when I said like, right, the personal voice over the recording, those words are spoken over us, right? It produces this belief that these thoughts are organically ours. And now you're like beating yourself up because you feel whatever the negative thing is about you. And I want to encourage you to challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, like, where did that come from? Like, if you truly believe that you, if you truly believe that you are the person who stated that negative statement, that low vibrational statement, that statement that does not serve your highest good, the statement that is not encouraging, the statement that is not fulfilling and satisfying and loving, that is not representative of the supreme intelligence that lives and breathes us, that is not a representation of light, that is not a representation of God, of law. And y'all want to know what law is? Love. Love is the law. Okay? If it is not a representation of any of these things, then I would encourage you to ask yourself, who taught you to think like this? Like, who said this to you? Where did it come from? And it is not so you can go say, look what you made me do. Look. That's not what it's for. It's so that you know it wasn't you. And then if for whatever reason you having a hard time, because sometimes these thoughts, remember I said, like, they can come from childhood. And if you're well into adulthood, you'll be like, dang, I really don't remember who said that. I don't know where I got that from, because it's so much time to went by. You hear your voice. You don't hear the person that said it. So then ask yourself, who taught you to treat yourself like this? You see where I'm going? And then you can go another step. Like, don't be afraid to ask yourself questions. You ain't gonna hurt you. Yes, I'm gonna speak on that another day. But that is, even when we do harm ourselves or others, you can't get to the true you, the essence of you. Oh, that can't be altered, baby. That can't be altered. You are pure light. You are pure light. And God lives in all of us. You couldn't alter it if you tried. Best thing to do is just take the glasses off, to whatever lens you're looking at the world through, and change the lens. Get your new prescription, baby. I'm serious. Now, the things we carry on us are never. Let me just start. The things we carry, like, on us, are never as powerful as the things we carry within us. That may very well be dormant. They might just be asleep. They might be resting. They might be powering up. Shoot, however you want to look at it. Oh, I like that. They powering up, baby. They getting geeked up. But the focus on what we feel takes away from what those feelings are illuminating in us, right? We feel like this is heavy. Hey, don't focus on the feeling. Focus on what the feeling is showing you, that this is not yours. Let go. Release it. It does not serve you. It is not yours. You don't have to carry it. It was never meant for you. It was meant for you to experience, not to carry. A lot of us carry the shame of our parents, the shame of religious leaders, the shame of sin. Has so much shame. There's so much shame that grounds religion. A lot of us just carry shame. And let me tell you something. There's shame is right before death. The energy of shame, the frequency of that, it vibrates right before death. There is no, energy don't die, but it can be drained. It can be depleted. And a lot of us at times, and I've been there, you'll be walking around, you like the Walking Dead. You here, but you're not here. Because you got all that shame, all that weight. And that's not how you were meant to live. You are a child. We are all children of the light, children of God. That's where we all came from. Way back home, baby. Yeah, you see that? Now, again, right? You are not your feelings. You are not your thoughts. You are not your mind. You do not have a soul. You are the soul. So as this new year begins, before you head full force into your intentions for the year, please, I lovingly encourage you to take stock of what you may be carrying and trust that all you need to continue on this journey is within you. And the rest will be provided for you along the way. Release all the fear that comes with, I'm carrying whatever you believe to be. I need this. You don't. Everything you need is within you. Take moments to be with yourself. Go into solitude. Journal. Awaken the things that are dormant within you. Wake up. If I was on the pulpit, wake up. Okay. Now, thank you for listening. That was the end of that episode. I really want to thank you for listening. And depending on where you are listening to this, If you want to connect with me more about today's episode on YouTube, please do so in the comment section. Or if you are listening to this on Spotify, you can definitely ask me any questions in the Q&A section, and I will connect with you guys soon. Thank you so much for listening. See you around. Love you. Bye.